Hey friends, it's Emily with burlapkitchen.com where I'm all about simplicity. Today we're going to be making a cute little scarecrow. So the first thing you want is a scrap piece of 2x4 as long as you want it to be. And I have this hat. If you don't have this hat, you could definitely use burlap. And I put it on his head just to kind of measure where I wanted his face and his body to go. So I'm going to paint this blue. I'm using blue acrylic paints for this. I actually thought this was like a deeper, more sort of navy blue than what it actually is, but it's going to be okay because we're going to antique it here in a little bit. So I'm just painting the front, and then this little piece is the base. I just sat my 2x4 on there and kind of like eyeballed how much space I would need for it to stand upright. So I'm just painting that blue, the same color as I painted the scarecrow. And again, I'm just using the cheap Walmart, the acrylic paints. They're fine for this project. And then you're going to want to let it dry and then go ahead and paint the back side too, just so everything matches. Depending where you put this on your porch, you might see the back. So go ahead and paint the back and the bottom. And then I'm going to mix some white acrylic paint with this. It's like a brownish color, but it's not like a dark brown. I'm just going to mix those two colors together to make the face. And I'm going to go ahead and paint the top half of his face. Now, it doesn't matter so much where they meet together because we're going to cover that up in a little bit. So don't get too worried if you get a little bit of paint down there like I did. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a sanding block and I'm going to scuff this up really good. You could choose to skip this step. Maybe you don't like the scuffed up look, and that's totally fine. So you make your scarecrow however it makes you happy. I'm just here to give you the inspiration. So I'm just going to sand the bottom part here of the scarecrow and pick up my glove there that I lost, that it dropped while I was sanding. So I'm going to put these gloves on and I am going to stain. So I'm just using Minwax in the color Dark Walnut. I dip a rag in it and then I just rub it on and wipe it off. These gloves, I want to tell you about these. I get them at Walmart in the cleaning section. They're great to keep on hand for staining. I just keep them in I have like a little bucket that has like my gloves and a few tools. I keep them in there. That way every time I go to stain, I have them. You definitely want to wear gloves when you stain or your hands will get really messy and it's almost kind of like sticky and it stays on for a while. So definitely wear gloves. So I'm just going to finish this bottom half here and wipe that little spot up. Now I'm going to get some raffia. And I'm just going to eyeball it what I need here. Just going to grab a handful of it and I'm going to staple that to the top of his head. Put a few staples in there. You want to staple it a few times just so everything sticks down good. And then I have this hat. This is leftover from Easter. It's from the Dollar Tree, but I think Hobby Lobby has straw hats. If you can't find this particular hat, then you could definitely use burlap or I don't know, get creative. I'm sure there's something you could come up with. If you have any ideas of what you could use, please put them in the comments so others will see. So I just stapled that on in a few different places. And then I'm going to staple that front. I'm going to add a few more staples here to the side because his hair was kind of going out to the side more than I wanted it. Now, you got to promise not to laugh because I'm painting again. And like I said, I am no Bob Ross. I'm just going to try my best to make some happy little eyeballs here. They actually got a little bit bigger than I wanted them to. I don't know why. Like, I felt like every time I painted them, like I'd try to fix them and then they kept getting bigger and bigger. I did the same thing with the eyebrows. What I think I might do next time is use a Sharpie to draw the eyeball and then use the paint to kind of fill it in. So I did the best I could with this. If you're good at painting, then it will probably turn out really cute. But even if you're not, I think there's some things that you can do. Like I said, with using the Sharpie, you could use buttons for eyes and just hot glue some buttons on. Same with the nose. So with the nose, we're going to use, the nose turned out okay for me. So we're just going to draw a triangle with some orange paint. And again, if you're not too great at painting, you could always cut an orange triangle out of burlap and hot glue that on. I'm going to add a little bit of cheeks. And there I'm trying to fix the eyeball the best I could. I tried to fix them up a little bit for you. But I just wanted to show you guys the idea. I know sometimes like my painting skills are not the greatest, but it's a cute idea. It's super fun to do, and I actually think that sometimes scarecrows they look like I feel like the more goofy they look, the cuter they are. So that's just my opinion. So then I grabbed a rusty piece of wire for his mouth and just put staples in it, like along the, for the mouth there, how they always have those lines. And then I wanted to show you what you could do is just get a handkerchief. I wanted a red one, but I didn't have one, and use that. Because I didn't have a red one, I found this other material, which I think is super cute. I got it up at Walmart. So I'm just going to cut like the end of that off in a little triangle type shape and wrap that around for his scarf. So I'm just going to put a few staples there in the back to secure everything. And then I wanted it a little bit shorter, so I decided just to bunch it up. I thought it looked super cute like that. So now I'm going to go ahead and put a hole. I'm going to drill a hole in the bottom of the base. And I'm going to take a large screw, and I'm going to go ahead and screw the bottom one. This is just going to help him so he stands up on my front porch. And I got it a little bit crooked. You guys know I get everything crooked. Listen, if you get this crooked, you can just unscrew it a little bit and then screw it back in and twist it. If it's still crooked for you, add something to the bottom. I'm adding leaves. You could add some Spanish moss or something like that to hide it. So I'm just going to wrap this around. These leaves came from the Dollar Tree. I'm just going to wrap them around just a few times. I had to play around with it a little bit just to get it to look the way that I wanted it to look. And then again, I just took my staple gun and just stapled these leaves in place. So I'm just going to finish wrapping it up here and add a few staples to the back. Now you don't want to put staples anywhere that you're going to see too well. Like you don't want them like in the front or anything like that. I did staple his hair again to the side because it was being a little bit crazy. So the one you see me just staple, the leaf actually covered that. So that looks pretty good. I'm going to trim his hair, and I actually go back after this video and trimmed his hair even a little bit more. Thought he was looking a little bit like Fabio there, so he had a little too much going on there with his hair, so I had to trim it back just a little bit. So I'm going to staple that, and then this is just some twine I stapled to the back, and then I'm just going to wrap it around a few times just to add a little extra something to him. And then I cut a leaf off the back and stapled it to the front for his hat. Just kind of fix them up a little bit, and then that is it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this fun project. For more great ideas just like this one, please visit burlapkitchen.com. Thank you.